Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to Zen Mind Peaceful Life, your safe space for calm, clarity, and cosmic wisdom. Today, we're diving deep into a very special and intense moment for all Virgos out there. June is shaping up to be a turning point, a real crisis of the heart and mind for Virgo. Imagine standing at a crossroads where your sharp, logical mind is pulling you one way. But your heart, vulnerable and aching, is pulling you the other. It's like a battle between what feels safe and what feels real. If you've ever found yourself overthinking your relationships or doubting your feelings because it just doesn't make sense, this video is made for you. We're going to explore why June's unique planetary energies are stirring up this powerful tug-of-war for Virgo, and more importantly, how you can navigate it without losing yourself. I'll share real-life insights, astrology secrets, and psychological tips to help you find peace between logic and love. So, if you want to deepen your self-awareness, improve your emotional balance, and live with more inner peace, hit that subscribe button now. Don't forget to like and share this video to help more souls find clarity. Ready to understand your June cosmic crisis and turn it into your greatest growth yet? Let's dive in. June is knocking on Virgo's door with a heavy question. Should you trust the logic you've always relied on, or take a leap into the uncertain world of love? This isn't just about a romantic choice, it's an internal battle that touches the very core of Virgo's nature. The thing about Virgos is they're often seen as the ultimate thinkers, the problem solvers, the ones who keep their emotions neatly filed away in the back room. But beneath that calm, rational surface is a heart quietly aching to be understood, to be seen beyond the spreadsheets of daily life. Imagine a Virgo named Emma. She's the kind of person who thrives on structure, her days are planned, her feelings analyzed, and her decisions made after careful thought. But this June, Emma feels a shift she can't quite explain. The stars are aligning in a way that pushes her out of her comfort zone, stirring emotions that don't fit neatly into her usual categories. She finds herself questioning the safety of her logical mindset. Can she afford to follow a path that's guided by something as unpredictable as love? This question alone creates a tension in her mind that's as exhausting as it is exciting. What makes this internal crisis even more profound is the role of Mercury, Virgo's ruling planet. Mercury is the cosmic messenger, the mind's voice, the communicator of thoughts and ideas. When Mercury is clear and steady, Virgos feel sharp, in control, and confident in their decisions. But during June, Mercury isn't playing by the usual rules. It's creating ripples that distort Virgo's mental clarity, causing confusion and second-guessing. It's as if the very instrument Virgo relies on to process the world is suddenly singing a different tune, forcing a re-evaluation of what's true and what's just fear dressed up as logic. This disruption in Mercury's energy isn't just a random cosmic hiccup, it's an invitation. An invitation for Virgo to slow down and listen, not just to their thoughts but to the whispers of their heart. The challenge here is profound because Virgo has built a fortress of logic around their feelings. It's safer to analyze love from a distance than to dive in headfirst. But June's celestial choreography makes staying distant impossible. The heart demands attention, even if the mind protests loudly. This dynamic creates a fascinating internal dialogue, one many Virgos will recognize. It sounds like this: if I follow my feelings, will I lose control? But if I ignore my heart, will I lose something precious? That's the tension many Virgos are living through right now. The lesson hidden in this dilemma isn't about choosing logic over love or vice versa, but about discovering a deeper balance between the two. The psychological aspect of this struggle is where things get truly interesting. Virgos have a cognitive habit known as intellectualization. They cope with emotional stress by turning feelings into thoughts, dissecting their emotions until there's nothing left but dry facts. This defense mechanism helps them avoid vulnerability, but it can also keep them stuck. When the heart demands to be heard, intellectualization isn't enough anymore. The mind must learn to hold space for emotions rather than shut them down. So, how can Virgo gently move through this process without feeling overwhelmed? One powerful practice is mindfulness. Taking just a few minutes each day to sit quietly and observe what's happening inside can shift the whole dynamic. Instead of analyzing why a feeling is wrong or illogical, mindfulness invites Virgos to simply notice the emotion, accept it, and let it be. This simple act of kindness toward oneself opens the door for healing and growth. Another helpful tool is journaling. For Virgos, writing is more than a hobby, it's a way to organize thoughts and make sense of the world. During this June crisis, journaling can become a sacred practice to explore the heart-mind tension. Instead of aiming for perfect entries, Virgos are encouraged to write freely about their fears, hopes, and desires without judgment. This practice helps transform abstract feelings into concrete reflections, making it easier to understand what's really going on beneath the surface. It's also essential to recognize that this tension between logic and love doesn't only play out in abstract ways, it's showing up in Virgos' relationships. 2. Whether single or partnered, Virgos may feel pulled between staying in a secure, familiar relationship or risking vulnerability with someone new or deeper. The cosmic energies this June don't just stir personal introspection. They highlight shifts in compatibility and communication with loved ones. Picture a Virgo named Alex, who's been with their partner for years but lately feels the spark fading. The safety of routine feels comforting, but it's also stifling. The heart yearns for something more authentic and alive, yet the mind warns of potential heartbreak. Alex's story reflects a classic Virgo dilemma, the conflict between staying safe and risking vulnerability for deeper connection. What can Virgos like Emma and Alex do to find clarity? Beyond mindfulness and journaling, small daily rituals can make a huge difference. Grounding exercises, such as walking barefoot on grass, deep breathing, or even simple stretches, help anchor restless minds. These practices remind Virgo that the body is a vital part of this heart-mind balance and can be a reliable guide when mental chatter gets overwhelming. Engaging with trusted friends or a counselor can also provide much-needed perspective. Sometimes, the Virgo tendency to solve everything alone becomes a barrier to growth. Opening up to compassionate listeners allows emotions to be expressed in a safe space, breaking the cycle of intellectual isolation. What's most exciting about this June crisis is the growth it promises. Virgos who lean into this discomfort, who allow themselves to feel and not just think, will discover new depths in their relationships and within themselves. This isn't about abandoning logic, but about expanding it to include emotional wisdom. The stars are inviting Virgo to a dance between head and heart, a dance that leads to more authentic living. If this feels familiar or you're watching this hoping to understand your own inner tug-of-war, stay with me because we're just getting started. The cosmic story unfolding this month holds more clues about how Virgo can navigate this profound challenge. And I'll be sharing powerful tools and insights to help you do just that. As the cosmic waves continue to ripple through June, Venus, the planet of love and beauty, makes its distinct presence felt for Virgo. This transit isn't subtle, it stirs emotions, passions, and desires that might have been quietly simmering beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to emerge. For Virgo, who usually prefers to keep feelings organized and manageable, Venus's influence can feel like a sudden tidal wave, washing away the neat mental structures they've relied on for so long. Suddenly, love isn't just something to analyze or manage, it's a force that demands attention and vulnerability. Imagine Rachel, a Virgo who has always approached relationships with caution and pragmatism. She values stability and clear communication, often weighing the pros and cons before letting her heart fully open. But this June, Rachel finds herself unexpectedly drawn to someone who challenges her usual criteria. The connection is messy, unpredictable, and deeply emotional. She's caught off guard by how much she wants to let go of her usual rules and simply experience the feelings swirling inside her. Venus's transit isn't just pushing her to question her love life, it's pushing her to question what it means to love at all. This kind of internal shakeup is often accompanied by a sharp awareness of what might be at stake emotionally. Love, for Virgo, isn't just about romance, it's a territory where vulnerability can feel risky. But Venus's energy encourages a gentle surrender, inviting Virgo to explore the beauty of emotional openness without the safety net of logic. There's a transformative power in this process, one that can deepen relationships and help Virgo step into a more authentic version of themselves. Meanwhile, the sky is orchestrating another cosmic movement that intensifies this inner tug-of-war. Mercury, Virgo's ruling planet, plays a key role not just in how they think but in how they communicate. When Mercury forms challenging aspects or enters phases that disrupt its usual flow, Virgos might find their once clear mental clarity clouded by doubt and hesitation. Conversations that once felt straightforward now seem fraught with misunderstandings or mixed signals. This isn't just a nuisance, it shakes the foundation Virgo relies on to make decisions with confidence. Take the story of Leo, a Virgo who prides himself on his ability to analyze situations logically and offer solutions that others respect. In June, however, Leo notices that his usual mental precision feels out of reach. Emails he writes to his partner come across colder than intended, and discussions about feelings spiral into confusion. His internal dialogue becomes a loop of "did I say the wrong thing? Should I have explained myself better?" The frustration builds as he struggles to bridge the gap between his thoughtful mind and the emotional needs of those he cares about. The influence of Mercury's current phase isn't designed to trip Virgo up, it's there to encourage reflection on communication styles and to highlight where emotional honesty might be missing. This challenge asks Virgo to soften their approach, to allow space for imperfection, and to practice patience with themselves and others. It's in these moments of discomfort that Virgo can discover the power of empathy and the importance of speaking from the heart, even when it feels risky. Underlying these cosmic shifts is a trigger, a moment or series of moments in life that spark this intense dilemma between logic and love. For some Virgos, it might be a conversation that reveals hidden feelings or a decision about whether to commit deeper to a relationship. For others, it could be a personal realization that the safe path they've chosen is no longer fulfilling. These triggers act as wake-up calls, breaking through the carefully constructed barriers that Virgo often builds to protect themselves. Consider Maya, who has been dating cautiously, always analyzing compatibility and potential future outcomes before allowing herself to fully engage. One evening, after a deep conversation that left her emotionally exposed, she felt an overwhelming urge to either retreat into logic or embrace vulnerability. This moment of crisis wasn't just about her partner, it was about Maya's relationship with herself and how much she was willing to risk for love. The psychological tension here is intense because it's about fear as much as it is about desire. Virgos often fear that emotions are unpredictable and uncontrollable, so they prefer the mental security of logic. But in doing so, they risk shutting out a vital part of themselves. This internal conflict can create anxiety, self-doubt, and sometimes paralysis, making it hard to move forward. Understanding this dynamic is the first step toward healing. Recognizing that fear is a natural response to vulnerability helps Virgo approach their feelings with compassion instead of judgment. It's okay to feel uncertain. It's okay to question. And it's more than okay to take small, courageous steps toward emotional openness. One practical way to do this is by practicing gentle self-inquiry, asking questions that invite reflection rather than judgment. Questions like, "What am I afraid will happen if I follow my heart?" or "What might I gain if I allow myself to feel more deeply?" can open doors that were previously locked by fear. These reflections don't need to be rushed or solved immediately, they simply plant seeds for new perspectives to grow. As this internal dialogue unfolds, Virgos might also notice shifts in how they interact with loved ones. Relationships become a mirror, reflecting back the inner struggle between logic and emotion. This can manifest as tension or misunderstandings, but also as opportunities for deeper connection and growth. For instance, Sam, a Virgo who prides himself on being a dependable partner, noticed that his usual approach of problem-solving in his relationship wasn't working this month. His partner needed empathy and emotional presence rather than solutions. At first, Sam felt lost and frustrated, but then he realized that listening without trying to fix everything was its own kind of strength. This shift required humility and patience but ultimately brought them closer. These relational shifts highlight a vital truth. Love isn't just about finding the right partner or the perfect relationship, it's about learning new ways to be present and authentic within connections. This is especially true for Virgo, whose desire for order can sometimes overshadow the messy, beautiful reality of human emotions. Navigating these challenges isn't easy, but there are grounded, practical steps Virgos can take to stay balanced. One such step is creating intentional space in daily life for emotional check-ins. Setting aside even 5 minutes a day to pause and reflect on feelings can make a huge difference. This practice helps Virgo catch emotional currents early, before they become overwhelming or confusing. Additionally, cultivating a supportive circle of friends or mentors who encourage emotional expression can be transformative. When Virgo feels safe to share without fear of judgment, the walls of logic start to soften, and emotional resilience grows. This doesn't mean abandoning reason but integrating it with emotional wisdom. Virgo's natural curiosity also becomes a powerful ally here. Approaching emotions as another kind of data to observe and understand helps keep anxiety at bay while opening the door to richer self-awareness. It's like learning a new language, initially challenging but deeply rewarding as fluency develops. This cosmic season in June isn't just a test for Virgo, it's an invitation to embrace complexity and paradox. Love and logic aren't opposing forces but two sides of the same coin, each enriching the other. When Virgo learns to dance with both, they step into a fuller, more vibrant experience of life. If you're a Virgo feeling the weight of this internal tug-of-war, remember that you're not alone. The stars are guiding you toward growth, not punishment. The discomfort you feel now is the soil where transformation takes root. Keep tuning in, because in the next part of our journey, we'll explore how Virgo's deepest fears about vulnerability show up in everyday life, and how embracing those shadows can lead to profound healing and freedom. There's more to uncover, and the path ahead promises clarity and peace you never thought possible. The moon is often an overlooked player in Virgo's emotional landscape, but during June, its phases become a powerful emotional barometer, subtly influencing how Virgo experiences feelings. The waxing and waning of the moon mirrors the cycles of tension and release that Virgo might find themselves caught in. There's a hidden rhythm beneath the surface of Virgo's usually controlled exterior, and June's lunar movements seem to pull on those hidden currents more than usual. Take Clara, a Virgo who prides herself on keeping her emotions under control. As the new moon approached this June, she noticed an unusual restlessness creeping in, a heaviness she couldn't explain. Rather than pushing it aside, Clara decided to honor the feeling, allowing herself to journal late into the night. She noticed how her thoughts felt clouded, but her emotions were vivid and raw. The moon's cycle was inviting her to tune into these shifts instead of trying to suppress them. This practice became a turning point for Clara, teaching her that emotions, like the moon, naturally ebb and flow, and resisting that cycle only causes more discomfort. This lunar influence highlights the importance of attuning to natural rhythms rather than fighting against them. For Virgo, whose minds are always active, the moon's phases serve as a gentle reminder to slow down and sync with their emotional tides. This can be as simple as setting aside moments each day to check in with oneself, noticing how moods shift and accepting those changes without judgment. The challenge of balancing love and logic also becomes vividly real in Virgo's relationships this June. Whether it's a long-term partnership or a new connection, the tension between emotional needs and rational thinking manifests in ways that can feel both confusing and illuminating. Relationships act like mirrors, reflecting back what's happening inside Virgo's heart and mind. And June's cosmic energies are amplifying this reflection. Consider Mia, a Virgo who has been dating someone new. The relationship feels exciting but also unpredictable, stirring feelings that she's not used to managing. Her mind wants to analyze every word and action, looking for certainty, but her heart feels drawn to spontaneity and vulnerability. This push and pull creates friction but also opens a doorway to a new kind of intimacy, one that embraces uncertainty and imperfection. Through honest conversations and small acts of emotional bravery, Mia begins to build trust not just with her partner but with her own feelings. For many Virgos, June will reveal that the neat boxes they've placed around love are too small for the fullness of experience they're invited to explore. It's not about abandoning logic but about expanding it to include the messiness and beauty of human emotion. This process can be challenging but deeply rewarding, fostering relationships grounded in both authenticity and understanding. Behind this emotional turbulence is Virgo's inner dialogue, the constant debate between head and heart. It's an ongoing conversation that can sometimes feel exhausting but is ultimately a sign of deep self-awareness. This dialogue often sounds like a series of questions and concerns, reflecting Virgo's innate desire for clarity and order. Take Jordan, who spends hours reflecting on whether to take a chance on a relationship or to stay in a safe, familiar space. His thoughts loop through scenarios, pros and cons, fears and hopes. Yet, underneath this mental maze is a longing to break free from overthinking and simply experience life with openness. This inner conversation, while challenging, is a crucial step toward greater emotional maturity. Learning to listen to both reason and intuition, without letting one overpower the other, becomes the true art Virgo is mastering this month. Psychologically, this mental tug-of-war is a reflection of Virgo's high need for control. When emotions feel unpredictable, Virgo's mind tries to regain order by dissecting and planning. But the tension arises when the emotional truth refuses to be contained by logic alone. Recognizing this pattern allows Virgo to step back and observe without judgment, creating space for new ways of being. A practical approach to this inner dialogue is to create a safe mental space where both feelings and thoughts can coexist. Meditation or guided mindfulness practices can help Virgo observe their internal chatter without getting caught up in it. This space encourages curiosity rather than criticism, allowing Virgo to explore their fears and desires with compassion. Real-life stories remind us that the balance between logic and love is not static, it evolves. For example, Samira, a Virgo who has always leaned heavily on reason, found herself gradually learning to trust her feelings after a series of emotional challenges. By journaling daily and practicing mindfulness, she built the confidence to express her vulnerabilities, which deepened her relationships and her self-understanding. Her journey illustrates that embracing this balance is a process, not a one-time event. In the midst of all this internal work, Virgo is also encouraged to pay attention to the people around them. Sometimes, the cosmic energies highlight the influence of other zodiac signs on Virgo's decision-making, especially during emotionally charged periods. Fire signs, with their passionate and spontaneous energy, can challenge Virgo's cautious nature, pushing them to act more from the heart. Water signs offer emotional depth and empathy that Virgo can learn from, while earth signs bring grounding and stability. Engaging with these different energies can be a rich learning experience. It might look like a Virgo friend getting unexpectedly inspired by a fiery Aries' boldness or feeling comforted by a Cancer's nurturing presence during moments of vulnerability. These interactions remind Virgo that connection is a dance of contrasts, and opening to different energies helps them grow emotionally and spiritually. At the heart of this process lies a lesson about trust and surrender. Virgo's journey through June's emotional currents invites them to trust that not everything can be planned or controlled. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up, it means allowing life's natural flow to guide decisions, even when the outcome is uncertain. This shift from control to trust is often the hardest but most liberating step Virgo can take. One way to cultivate this trust is through daily affirmations or intentions that focus on surrender and openness. Saying to oneself, "I trust the process of life," or "I am open to love's guidance," can help rewire the brain toward acceptance. Pairing these affirmations with breathing exercises or moments of quiet reflection makes the practice even more powerful. Throughout June, Virgo's emotional journey is peppered with opportunities to practice this dance of trust and surrender. Each choice, each moment of hesitation or courage, is a step toward a more integrated self, one where logic and love coexist in harmony. For Virgos looking for a bit of cosmic guidance, the stars offer lucky days this month when the energy aligns to support important relationship decisions. These moments aren't magic fixes but gentle cosmic nods reminding Virgo that timing can be a powerful ally. Paying attention to these windows, whether through a calendar, an astrology app, or simply an intuitive feeling, can help Virgo feel more supported and less alone in their journey. At the end of the day, this June crisis isn't a crisis at all but a rite of passage. It's the universe's way of inviting Virgo to step into a fuller expression of themselves, one that embraces both the clarity of the mind and the depth of the heart. The tension between logic and love becomes a powerful teacher, guiding Virgo toward greater authenticity and peace. If you're feeling this push and pull in your own life, know that it's part of a larger cosmic dance. Lean into the discomfort, trust your inner wisdom, and remember that every step you take is part of your growth story. There's more to uncover, and the journey is just beginning. As June unfolds, Virgos find themselves increasingly aware of the inner shadows that accompany this heart versus mind struggle. The shadow side of Virgo's personality is not something to fear but rather something to understand deeply. Often, when logic turns into emotional avoidance, Virgo risks hiding from the very feelings they most need to embrace. This avoidance can show up as perfectionism, excessive criticism both of self and others, or an overwhelming need to control every detail. It's the mind's way of protecting the heart from pain. Take the story of Nadia, a Virgo who prides herself on being the rock in her circle of friends. When faced with emotional conflict, she tends to detach and analyze the situation rather than fully experiencing it. During this June, Nadia noticed that her usual coping mechanism was leaving her feeling lonely and disconnected, even though she appeared calm and composed on the outside. The realization was painful but necessary. By avoiding her emotions, she was also avoiding true intimacy. This shadow work is crucial because it allows Virgo to identify where logic becomes a shield instead of a tool. When Virgo learns to soften the sharp edges of criticism and perfectionism, they create space for emotional healing. Practicing self-compassion becomes a powerful antidote. It's about reminding oneself that imperfection is not failure, and vulnerability is a form of strength. Simple daily reminders, like saying, "It's okay to not have all the answers," or "My feelings are valid," can gradually rewrite Virgo's internal narrative. Navigating these inner challenges also opens the door to incredible growth. When Virgo leans into their vulnerabilities, they become more relatable, more human, not just to others, but to themselves. This transformation creates authentic connections and fosters a deeper sense of peace that no amount of logic alone could ever provide. June's lessons for Virgo are not just about surviving the emotional storm but about thriving in it. This month offers a unique opportunity for personal growth, an invitation to evolve beyond the familiar patterns of mental control and embrace the messy, unpredictable nature of love. This journey isn't linear or easy, but it's deeply rewarding. Virgos who step into this process find themselves more resilient, more compassionate, and more whole. One practical way to nurture this growth is through creative expression. Whether it's painting, writing poetry, or simply dancing freely in a quiet room, creative outlets allow Virgo to release pent-up emotions and reconnect with the playful, spontaneous parts of themselves that logic often suppresses. It's a reminder that life isn't just about problem-solving, it's about experiencing joy and connection in all its forms. Supporting this growth is the influence of other signs that play a subtle but powerful role in Virgo's journey. Fire signs like Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius bring a spark of courage and boldness that can inspire Virgo to take emotional risks. Water signs like Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces offer deep emotional insight and empathy, helping Virgo feel safe enough to open their heart. And earth signs like Taurus, Capricorn, and fellow Virgos provide grounding energy, reminding Virgo to be patient and steady with themselves. Engaging with these energies might mean reaching out to friends with these signs or simply allowing their qualities to inspire new ways of thinking and feeling. It's like having a cosmic support team cheering Virgo on through their emotional evolution. In the midst of this intense inner work, trust and surrender become guiding principles. Virgo's natural instinct is to plan, prepare, and control every detail. But love, real, messy, beautiful love, requires a different approach. It calls for letting go, trusting the process, and being willing to step into uncertainty. This doesn't mean abandoning discernment. It means balancing discernment with faith. Virgos can cultivate this trust by establishing small daily rituals that remind them to release control. Lighting a candle with the intention to let go and trust. Practicing a brief meditation focusing on breath and presence, or simply repeating affirmations like, "I am safe to surrender," can rewire the mind toward openness. These practices may feel small but have a cumulative, transformative effect. In the cosmic rhythm of June, certain days shine brighter for making big emotional decisions. These are windows when the stars align to support Virgo's heart-mind balance. Paying attention to these days, whether by consulting an astrology calendar, following intuition, or simply observing how you feel, can help Virgo navigate important conversations or choices with more confidence and grace. It's as if the universe offers gentle reminders that you don't have to do this alone. At the heart of all these experiences is a profound invitation for Virgo to embrace the fullness of their humanity. Logic and love are not enemies, they are partners in the dance of life. When Virgo finds harmony between the two, they unlock a richer, more fulfilling way of being. As we wrap up this journey through June's cosmic landscape, remember this: the inner conflict you feel is not a weakness but a sign of growth. The tension between head and heart is the universe's way of nudging you toward your highest self. Embrace it with kindness, curiosity, and courage. If you found this video helpful, please show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing to Zen Mind Peaceful Life. Together, we're building a community where astrology meets mindfulness, and self-discovery becomes a joyful journey. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories and support you on your path. Thank you for being here, for trusting the process, and for allowing yourself to grow. Until next time, keep balancing that beautiful dance between logic and love.